We continue to witness mass shootings in this country, including at schools, in classrooms, and those killings have now led to calls for stricter gun laws, including a so-called assault weapons ban and a limit on sales of the high-capacity magazines. Ms. Levitt, do you think weapons like the AR-15 and other civilian firearms adapted from military versions are important for Americans to be able to own, specifically in part to prevent government tyranny?
I don't think guns kill people. I think mentally deranged and evil people kill other people. We have a mental health crisis in this country right now, a culture problem, not a gun problem. And I support the rights of law-abiding Granite Staters to obtain and access firearms to protect them, themselves, their families, and their property, especially as we've seen a massive surge in crime across this country. Just last week, outside of the Manchester Mall, a man was shot in the head in broad daylight. A couple walking on the Concord rail trail were shot and killed in broad daylight as well. We need to ensure that law-abiding citizens can access their Second Amendment to protect themselves, and I will always unequivocally support the right of our Granite State folks to do that.
And to be clear, does that gun ownership also in part mean preventing government tyranny? Is that part of the reason?
I support the rights of law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and their family. It's enshrined in our Constitution for a reason.
Congressman Pappas, you voted for an assault weapons ban, which passed the House recently. And over the years, you've said you think people should be able to own guns for hunting and collecting. But do you believe the purpose of the Second Amendment was to give Americans the opportunity to defend themselves from the government?
Well, I think it's really important to understand that we can have a culture of responsible gun ownership in New Hampshire. We can protect people's Second Amendment rights while still taking common sense steps that are going to save lives in our community. And people here in New Hampshire come up to me all the time about this issue, especially a lot of young people who are concerned about their own safety in the classroom, parishioners at churches, people who go to synagogues, people who are out in movie theaters or malls. It can happen anywhere, and it's about time we did something about it. Now, for the first time in decades, we actually passed bipartisan legislation in Congress that provides enhanced background checks for people under the age of 21, bans straw purchases, closes loopholes, and in addition to that, provides support to states that are developing red flag laws. These are all very common sense, again, bipartisan steps that we can take to save lives. And ultimately, I think that should be our focus. Let's respect people's rights under the Constitution, but let's also do what is necessary to make sure that people are safe, people can go about their lives without being gunned down in one of these mass shootings.